Hello friends, family, fans of YouTube. I'm just making this video to do reviews on 3 more ventriloquist figures. I'm doing this video not only to remake a review video for a past figure, but yeah, I have a couple I haven't done before yet. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one I got here is a Kem Poyner figure. She was built around 2022 or 2023. She was originally owned by my good friend David Iannetta, who then passed her on to me. In my act, her name is Roxy. She's a very kind of smart alecky teenage girl, and I want to show you her controls and how she works.
That's right. He's gonna show you my controls and like how I work.
That's right. Alright, so we got Roxy's control stick. She's a little heavy. Kem makes his figures out of like a neoprene material. So I'm going to hold with 2 hands. Right here on your thumb. If you're right-handed, mouth. Works pretty good, pretty smooth. A little loud, but works pretty smooth. Left-right eyes. It's on that left and right trigger. And they self-center when you let go. What's really weird is they are center in person a little bit, but for some reason on video they look like they're off center. I don't know why. It's depth perception and how our eyes work. And then on the very back here, it's just this little tiny nub.
That's what she said.
Oh, stop. It's the eyes. Or the eyelids, I should say. You do like a half expression. I do that with my pinky with the eyes when I work the eyelids. I may actually move the control to the side here. It just takes a little workshop skill. So that's Roxy. And then a fun little fact, I added that little bead of jewelry, which when she's on stage, light will bounce off of it and kind of pop. You know, teenage girl, usually they have a piercing or 2. Kem's body, the body of the figures is very fun, very nice, and very cartoony proportion, which is kind of what you want in a ventriloquist figure. Sleeves are a little long on the jacket. I was thinking about hemming them, but very cartoony type hands. Even has black nail polish. I mean, all around goth girl. The body's made out of like a neoprene, as well as the head, or like a fiberglass body maybe. Hard. And then the legs are just your typical ventriloquist dummy cloth legs. Yeah. The body's pretty well done. Ignore that's her script for summer shows. No spoilers. Inside, you can't see, but her body's almost like a fiberglass shell. So I'm gonna put the head back in here.
That's also what she said. No, Roxy.
It is not. It's jammed in there. You gotta be very careful when you put controls back in the body. You don't want to jam them. She doesn't use any strings. She's a direct link ventriloquist figure. And what that means is that the controls are all made out of metal and rods. So you gotta be a little more careful to not jam them in the body, or you'll really mess up the mechanics. So that's Roxy. She's a Kem Poyner creation. On to our next one here. Come here. We got a Dan Pays creation. He's the first professional ventriloquist figure I ever purchased. Now, ironically, folks, I purchased him around 2010, 2011, and you see my grandfather died back then, and we were all willed some money by him. And ironically, I bought a grumpy old man, real sick. Yeah. So anyways, George here has a slot jaw moving mouth. You just saw raising eyebrows, stick out tongue. He's got side-to-side moving eyes, which are functioning a little weird. I did a mechanical tweak because not only can he do that, he can cross them, which I added in myself, but I gotta tweak the eyes a little bit. And then you can also raise one eyebrow as well as both, which is right there. And then you can raise one. I'll show you his controls. We're gonna put him down here. You're gonna look, I'm gonna decapitate you here. Oh, great. Trench Revolution. These levers, I'm going to be doing some changes on George's control set. So anyways, he's got the slot jaw movement on the index finger, provided you're right-handed. He's got the stick out tongue on that lever. So it's in conjunction with the jaw. You have to open the jaw to work the tongue. I put this nail here just so they can't accidentally flip over to the wrong side. When you're grabbing them out of the case during a gig, you don't want that. This one right here, Dan Pay's original, the eyebrows. So these 3 levers are Dan Pay's originals, and then I added this lever right behind the 2 eyebrow lever. That's the 1 eyebrow. And then on the very back of the stick here, this is gonna be completely redone at some point, cross eyes. So I have a joke in my act where George thinks of the last time he was nice to somebody, and you may have seen it on my old videos even. It's an old joke I use, and I still use it. So he thinks about the last time he was nice to somebody, just like this. He starts shaking a little, and then he... So it's a newer way I perform that. Dan Pay's bodies, where am I putting you? Right here. Are simple. They're wood. Some ventriloquist figures are made out of just wood bodies that are just kind of like a crate, a frame. And some of them are hard shell, like the last one you saw. Dan Pay's hands, hard resin material, very durable, very durable. And then his legs are just simple cloth legs as well. Dan Pay's would always put his business card inside the body. Dan is retired. I'm a personal friend of his, and I text him once in a great while, but Dan has a business card in there. Dan Pay's Puppetry. That's where his business card goes when you would order a figure from him. And he might still make them if you ask really, really nicely. So he might still make them. God, that looks creepy, doesn't it? On to the next one. All right, here we go. No performer is complete without their headliner. So we got Lucky here. Lucky is a Selberg Studios creation. He was built in starting to get built in 2016, was finished in 2017 and added to my act. Lucky's really cool. Oh, you're darn right I'm cool, yeah. I'm the best looking thing here too, yeah. You're a little full of yourself. What? I'm full of your hand. So Lucky can move his mouth, his upper lips goes up like that. Makes a lot of expression. He can blink, he can wide, he can, and he can also sniff his nose. I'll show you the controls. Lucky's controls are my favorite out of all of them. And easy to remove. So with Selberg controls, they're very natural feeling. They land right where your fingers are. There's a reason these are top dollar figures. You got the jaw on the thumb, got the eyes on the left and right, just a little slotted control on the front there. And then you got the blinkers are the first one right there. And then when you push up, that's when he goes wide. And you got the sneer, here's the next one over. Looks very nice. Look at that, just seamless almost, despite having a slot. It's very, very nice. And then he's got the sniffing nose on the very back. And Lucky is so fun to make expressions with in my shows, and I hear all the time from my clients and my audiences about him, because when you combine the sneer, the eyelids, that's what I do when I do that, or I'll do this with my middle finger, I'll push up. You can do so many expressions with this particular set of controls, and it's just the greatest thing. Like, you could have them sniff, and you can do that. It's limitless what you can do with a Selberg. True master at designing characters and stuff. Lucky's body, very nice. Selberg would typically use like it's controversial what he's actually using, whether it's like a hardened styrofoam or whether it's resin. Some ventriloquist figure collectors and ventriloquists that perform have reported issues with the body's durability. I have not had a problem with it yet, but I've heard some other people's reports. And then just on the inside, not super special. It's a big shell. Like I said, some are wood, some are shell style. His hands look very nice. They're pretty worn out. I gotta repaint them at some point. And the other one looks a little bit worse. Lucky plays piano in my act, and it's really aggressive on his hands, and I've been brainstorming a way to alleviate that. You drop the jaw down and you slide him right back on the body. If every ventriloquist figure's mechanics could be like a Selberg,
He'd be so happy. Say, we sound like that guy from South Park.
So I thought you folks might like to see my reviews on these ventriloquist figures. They're pretty great. I'll leave some information in the description of this video on where you can obtain some of these ventriloquist figures and the maker's websites. For instance, Lucky, Selberg Studios. I'll have the link in the description. With that being said, folks, it's Wednesday as of today when I'm filming. So I want to say happy Wednesday. That thirst girl tot that looks like Wednesday, doesn't she? No, yeah, she does a little bit, doesn't she? Yeah.
Do 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 dun. Do 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 dun.